Good morning and welcome to Newswatch Today. I'm Cameron Lee.
And I'm Austin Mickey. Governor Parsons has announced a new grant for first responders.
And an Amber Alert has been canceled for a 3-year-old in Perryville.
Titus Smith is here with your latest sports news, and Aubrey Jackson has your forecast. This is Newswatch Today.
It's good to be back this morning. You know, we have the whole crew here, including Aubrey. She's finally back.
I know, Aubrey, we're so glad to have you back. What can you tell us about the weather today?
I am so glad to be back, and I am also glad because we are making the jump into the 80s this week. For our current conditions, it is sunny and 50, so it was pretty nice this morning, and our conditions for today are going to be partly cloudy with a high of 63. So be prepared for those 60s and sunnies and take a trip outside because it's going to be nice. The winds are rising to 13 miles an hour, moving northwest, but other than that, the sun will be out, and we can expect a jump in the temperatures later on. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Aubrey. I'm excited to have the sun back. Not super excited about the winds, but I am excited to have the sun back.
I know, but it'll be really nice to have a sunny day, especially after the rain yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, and I guess we'll know a little more in just a short while during Aubrey's full forecast.
Police are investigating after an Amber Alert issued in Perryville on Wednesday, April 10th, has been canceled. On Wednesday, officers spoke with a woman who claimed to have been assaulted along with her infant child on March 19th. The woman also said that the father of the children went on to threaten her life and the 3-year-old son's life if she came forward with the assault claims. According to the mother, she and the infant were abandoned in the hotel they were staying in at Perryville, and the father took the 3-year-old with no contact up until yesterday. Information was gathered and the Amber Alert issues around 3:45 p.m. The father and the child were located voluntarily in Nashville, Tennessee, where the 3-year-old boy was found safe and the suspect is no longer at large. Police in both Perryville and Nashville are working together to investigate the situation farther.
The Missouri Department of Public Safety has approved 70 grants amounting to $5 million for law enforcement, fire service, and EMS providers in Class 3 counties statewide. These grants aim to supply new equipment that will enhance first responders' ability to handle emergencies, while also ensuring their safety. The grant-funded equipment will include patrol vehicles, mobile data terminals, body cameras, firefighter gear, extraction tools, ambulances, cardiac monitors, pediatric resuscitation devices, and emergency communication radios. Governor Parsons said the equipment is vitally important and should allow first responders to do their jobs more effectively and make Missouri communities safer.
Taking a look into campus life, the Activities Board here at Evangel is hosting a major event for students this Saturday. With more on that story is Caden McBride.
It seems that it's already that time of year. Evangel's Activities Board is putting on its Spring Fling production in Spence Chapel this Saturday. They say that it's like a show you've never seen before. They've based the theme around well-known late-night TV shows, and they hope that many students come to enjoy.
So we are so excited for Spring Fling Live. We will be featuring sketches and videos and a special guest that you will get to see if you come. One of the big parts about Spring Fling Live is that it's different than our original Spring Fling just because we have different sketches and videos, of course, centered around the late night theme, as well as we won't be having a costume contest as we traditionally do. This is a whole new show, and we are, again, so excited for it and so excited for you to come.
The AB crew has put a lot of time and creativity into the production of this show. The team has been able to keep the contents of the show under wraps so that everyone can be surprised and simply enjoy the evening. Many of the crew are very excited about the acts that they get to participate in.
I get the opportunity to be in a super amazing cool sketch for cast reunion, and I'm not going to tell you all the super fun amazing details about it, which is why you should come to Spring Fling Live. Yay!
The event will take place in Spence Chapel on Saturday. The doors will open at 6 and the show will begin at 7. Tickets can be purchased on Evangel's Connect app for $5, or they can be purchased at the door for $7.
Well, it's clear AB has been working very hard to put on this event, and they have an awesome night planned this Saturday in Spence Chapel. Be there for Spring Fling. I'm reporting for Newswatch Today. This is Caden McBride.
Evangel University hosted an eclipse and moon pie viewing on Monday, April 8th for the students to enjoy some fresh air with a view. From 1:30 to 2:30 p.m., students filed out of the classrooms and onto the quad to enjoy outdoor games and moon pies while viewing the solar eclipse. Glasses were provided for all of those who didn't have any, and while classes were not canceled, many professors did move them online so that most students and faculty were able to join in on the fun.
We plan on just sitting and relaxing and enjoying God's creation.
I'm gonna sit on this blanket, I'm gonna eat my extra big Cheez-Its, and I'm gonna hang out with my friends while the moon slowly covers more and more of the sun, because that's so cool.
The next eclipse set to cross our path in North America will happen in 20 years.
2 police dogs employed by a Nevada school district are recovering after a dangerous incident involving illegal drugs. The dogs ingested an excessive amount of narcotics during the execution of a search warrant at a residence near the school in Clark County. The canines began exhibiting strange behavior, and the law enforcement officers present swiftly intervened to rescue their canine colleagues. Narcan was administered to the dogs, and they were nearly back to their normal selves when they arrived at the emergency vet clinic. They have since resumed their duties, sniffing out illegal items on the job and enjoying treats at home. The Evangel University Fine Arts and Design Gallery is featuring the work of 8 seniors with 2 art exhibits this month. The first exhibit's opening ceremony took place April 5th in the Art Gallery of the Barnett Fine Arts Center, with the second exhibit's opening ceremony set for April 19th from 6:30 to 8:30.
Most stressful was getting it all done because I definitely procrastinated, and just like trying to get everything finalized this week because most of my stuff the work was done, but framing and matting and all that stuff, trying to get that done was stressful, but it was exciting to see all pull together and all come together tonight and just have so many friends and family supporting you. So.
Yeah, literally anyone can come. It's a great way to enjoy art and appreciate the arts, and we worked really hard on it.
Gallery hours are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and admission to these exhibits is free and open to the public. Up next, Gen Z may not be as happy as the rest of us.
And we'll have a special guest here to talk about Heart Song's live recording at Evangel University. We'll hear more about that when we get back from this break.
Get dark. We can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
What a disaster.
You're a disaster.
This is a disaster.
You can't be ready for every little disaster, but you can prepare for a big one. Make an emergency plan today.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
A new survey reveals that Generation Z is less happy than the rest of us. People from ages 12 to 26 say they are having a harder time than previous generations did at their age. That's according to new research by Gallup in conjunction with the Walton Family Foundation. Of 2,000 Gen Z Americans surveyed, 75% reported being at least somewhat happy. However, the number went down significantly as the kids and teens reached adulthood. Researchers said 2 factors were correlated with happiness for Gen Z. They were the amount of sleep they got on weekends and a sense of purpose. Cameron Lee is standing by with a special guest. Cameron?
Thanks, Austin. Well, today we have Abby Dement here to talk about Heartsong's live recording event happening here at Evangel. Thanks for being here today, Abby.
Of course.
So go ahead and kind of tell us, what is Heartsong?
So Heartsong is a traveling ministry group out of Evangel. It used to be out of the music department, and it stemmed from CBC back before Evangel and CBC did the merge. Our lovely leader, Dr. Jenkins, she was the music department head at CBC, and she moved over to Evangel and is now continuing. So we've been going for about 31 or 32 years now.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved specifically into Heartsong, and what does it mean for you?
So last year I was able to have like the amazing experience. I joined as a freshman and I played keys 1, and it was extremely growing period of my life. I had played drums in the past, but I completely thought I was closing those doors. And this year, God opened so many opportunities for me, and I was able to be the drummer for Heartsong this year.
That's exciting. So do you prefer drumming over keys?
It depends. Sometimes it just depends on the mood, you know.
I get it. So kind of tell us what is happening tonight for Heartsong, the recording, what is that going to look like? What is it?
So we have a really cool opportunity this semester. We're going to be doing a live album recording in Spence Chapel tonight at 7 p.m. And we're just going to have just a worship time with our Evangel family. We're also introducing 2 new original songs, and we will be doing music videos as well.
Well, that's exciting. So kind of talk about, what does the songwriting process for Heartsong as a team as a whole look like?
So from my experience, since I'm on the band, I don't see much of it. However, we have a lot of very talented songwriters, and they get together. We have a song that was written by former Heartsong members last year that we're going to be playing tonight for the first time. And it's just really cool to see how our songwriting classes in the music department, it flows over into something that can be used in, the real world.
Yeah. So I know that Heartsong recently went on a trip. So tell us a little bit about that trip and how it impacted what's happening tonight.
So we just got back from Rome, Italy, which was such a cool experience. Last year we went to Chicago, which Chicago is pretty fun, but it's definitely a whole different experience. Going to Rome, it definitely, when you're with each other for more than 24 hours, which this was like a week and a half, 2-week trip over spring break, you definitely see all the sides of each other, and you have to grow closer because you're just put in that closer environment with each other. So that was very unifying. So going into this, we're all just best friends. This year we've been so blessed to just be able to be a complete family unit together, and spending time together in a foreign country where we're kind of the only people speaking American over there. It was very unifying in that way.
So beyond the unification, were the songs finished when you went to Rome? Did you get to debut them in Rome, or what did that kind of look like?
So for our original songs, they were finished. For one of the songs, we're still working on instrumentation and stuff, but we didn't get to play anything in Rome. The people in Rome have like certain songs they're very familiar with, so there were some songs that we would introduce, but since there was that language barrier, we kind of had to be able to work with their environment and be able to foster that worshipful environment.
Absolutely. So the event happening tonight, you already talked about, we're going to get to see a new music video.
Yes.
What did that look like, the recording process of that, and what kind of role did you get to play in that?
So it's actually going to be live tonight. There will be cameras going all over the room, kind of like Maverick City or Elevation, which is something that's so completely new to me, which will be so exciting. I will definitely have to have my extra drumsticks on hand because sometimes I like to throw them. So there's a lot of pressure now knowing that like it will be live, it will be recorded, set in stone right in that moment. But at the same time, it's going to be just more authentic because it's live.
Absolutely. And can anyone come to tonight, or is this a closed event, and what should we know before we show up?
Yes, it's completely open to the public tonight. Anybody can come. My family's coming all the way from Southeast Missouri, so it's just completely free at 7 p.m. tonight, Spence Chapel. And while we're striving for that excellence in worship that Heartsong is known for, we're also just coming with our hearts prepared and just ready to worship.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we're so thankful that you were able to come. Tell us a little bit more about Heart Song and just get to know all about what is happening tonight. So thank you for being here.
Yes, thanks.
Let's go back to the desk with Aubrey and Austin.
Thanks, Cameron. So, Aubrey, what's the weather looking like for the rest of the week?
Well, I'm super excited, Austin, because it is going to get into those 80s, but more on that in my full forecast.
Times get dark. We can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Last week, April 4th through the 6th, was the debut of Evangel's spring musical, Fiddler on the Roof. The show stars Ben Paris as father living through life, watching his daughters grow up and learn how to do life differently. After taking a week off for the rest and for more rehearsals, the show is back this weekend, April 12th and 13th at 7 p.m. and the 14th at 2 p.m., as well as one final show on Tuesday, April 16th at 7 p.m. A few tickets are still available online at Evangel's Theater Department's website. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm hoping to go see it this weekend. I'm kind of excited. Hopefully I can get a ticket still.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see it on Tuesday.
Yes.
And even though it's an indoor event, I know we have a lot of outdoor events going on.
And
so
we gotta know. We gotta know about the weather.
What the weather's gonna be like. So, Aubrey, what can you tell us about that?
Well, as someone who's in Fiddler on the Roof, I definitely think you guys should come. But as for those outdoor events, let's take a look at the weather this week. Our current conditions outside are sunny and 50. It was pretty nice this morning, and we can continue to see that today for our conditions that are partly cloudy with a high of 63. Winds have risen to 13 miles an hour, moving northwest, so be prepared for higher winds, but that sun is going to come out a little bit today. For today's almanac, we can see a low of 38 and a high of 63, moving into those 60s and sunnies, with the precipitation almost doubling since earlier this month. It is now at 0.14%, and most of that is due to that large storm that we had last night and those rains that have come through in the previous weeks. For today's satellite, you can see some of those clouds that have moved past our southern Springfield area. They're moving further east towards other states such as Arkansas, Oklahoma, and further the east on the East Coast. But for our southern area, we can see we are going to be clear of those clouds very soon. let's take a look at our radar. Our radar, you can see that rain that we had last night has moved and pushed further east. We are going to have some rain on the back end of this week, looking in Tuesday, Wednesday, and possibly even next Thursday. So there will be scattered thunderstorms coming, and that system is going to move from the west to the east, but we don't expect that for quite another couple of days. For our high temperatures, it is going to be pretty even around the board for the entire state of Missouri. We have a nice 64 in Springfield, a 63 in Kansas City, and 67 in St. Louis. So no matter where you go in Missouri, it's going to be nice and 60. Our national forecast, you can see that system of rain that did push through last night, causing most of the areas and roads to be wet. It moved past further towards the east, and we can see a system that is going to come with this cold front and affect us later this week. But for now, we can expect nicer weather, and it's going to be mostly dry for the next few days. Our 6-day forecast, you can see exactly that, nice weather followed by rain that we were talking about earlier. It's going to jump quickly from the 60s to 70s to 80s, and Sunday and Monday we're going to have a high of 82 and 84. So it is going to finally jump up into that summer weather before we get hit with a few scattered thunderstorms. That's it for Weather Watch this week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Aubrey. I'm excited for that warmer weather that she's talking about coming in this weekend.
It's gonna be really nice, and my sister has prom this weekend, so I'm sure she'll be glad to know that the weather will be nice. And just around the corner, Titus Smith will be here to give us the latest in sports.
This and much more when we return.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantore here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Suicide rates have been increasing across all age groups in the United States, but a surprising trend has emerged among college athletes. Suicide is now the second leading cause of death for college athletes, right behind accidents. According to research published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, the suicide rate among college athletes has doubled within a span of just 2 decades. Some people may find this surprising given the support systems available to the students participating in sports at a university, including coaches, teammates, and university resources. The reasons behind the surge in suicide rates are unknown, but one consideration is the stress of the spotlight and criticism from social media. You know, Cameron, that is like the darker, tougher side of being a student athlete that doesn't often get talked about.
We don't really get to see that side unless we are one. Yeah. But there is a lighter side to sports, and there's no one better to tell us about it than Titus. Titus, can you catch us up on what's been happening in sports this week?
Well, Evangel Women's Golf earned a second-place finish at the Bethany Classic. Evangel played against many other NAIA schools, such as Baker, Grandview, and Ottawa, just to name a few. Susanna Blackwell led the charge, hitting a 161 at the meet and finished 6th individually. Madeline Jenkins and Catherine Rhodes each played only 2 or 3 more strokes than Blackwell, and Caitlin Swope finished closely behind them with 168 strokes. In other news, Evangel Baseball wins in an upset against Oklahoma Wesleyan, who is currently ranked 19th in the conference. Evangel beat the Wesleyans 14-7 and held the lead all game. Evangel went .365 from the plate, and Brooks Espy and Carson Sturdifant made the biggest impact. Espy went 4-5 with 3 RBIs and 3 runs scored, while Sturdifant went 3-5 with 6 RBIs and a run scored. On to national news, a young minor league baseball player has soared through the professional baseball divisions and spring training. This season, 20-year-old Jackson Holliday started his season in the minor leagues, but has now been brought up to play with the Orioles after only 10 ball games. Because Holliday has played so well so fast, the Orioles will now be able to make an additional first-round pick, thanks to the Prospect Promotion Initiative. And the Masters is right around the corner, and the spotlight is on 3 prominent contenders, all coveting the infamous green jacket. These 3 players are Scotty Scheffler, Jon Rahm, and Rory McIlroy. Scheffler is looking to solidify his place as one of the PGA's superstars, while Rahm hopes to bring unity to the PGA and LIV feud with his victory. McIlroy hopes to achieve a career Grand Slam after a 10-year drought of major wins. That's all for sports. Back to you two at the desk.
Thanks, Titus. You know, someone we cannot forget when it comes to the Masters is Tiger Woods.
Yeah, one of the greatest of all time.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's up for his 6th win of some form if he wins this Masters.
Amazing.
And that would tie him with some other person who holds a record. It's a big deal, I think.
And when we get back, Disney is making efforts to reduce cutting in lines.
And Aubrey will be back for one final look at the forecast. All of this and more when we return.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We have this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Disney is changing its policies for guests with disabilities at Walt Disney World in Florida and Disneyland in California. Representatives say the theme parks are cracking down on those wishing to skip the lines through the Disability Access Service. Starting on May 20th, Walt Disney guests with disabilities will need to register for the service in advance with a virtual video, no longer on the day of their park visit. The same changes will go into effect at Disneyland in California on June 18th. Previously, guests could register for the DAS online in advance or in person at either park. Additionally, the company said it is updating who qualifies for the service. The new policy states that DAS is meant for guests who cannot wait in line for an extended period of time due to a developmental disability like autism. According to Disney, DAS is a free service that allows a guest with a disability and their immediate family to be able to skip the standby lines by providing them with a return time for attractions. I can't imagine someone wanting to use the disability line to skip lines. I mean, I get it. I want to get on the ride, but that seems a little crazy.
It definitely seems like a very important and necessary change.
I tell you what's important and necessary when you go to Disney: good weather.
Of course. Aubrey, can we expect some good weather here this week?
We sure can, Austin. We are going to make that jump from the 60s to 70s quickly to the 80s. So be prepared for late this weekend, early next week to be 82, 84 for those highs, followed by a little bit of rain. So go outside while you can before those rains come, and that's it for this week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, thanks, Aubrey. It's kind of sad we're wrapping up that final show of the semester.
I know, it's been a very fun ride, and it's been great working with you, Cameron. You've been an amazing co-anchor and producer.
Well, thank you, it's been fun.
And that's all for us today. Make sure to join us next semester for Newswatch. I'm Austin Mickey.
And I'm Cameron Lee. For more on EUTV and for the latest Evangel news, go to euvalormedia.com. This has been Newswatch Today.